Imagine a single room, hidden behind stone walls, containing words so powerful that kings and emperors would kill to possess them. Now, imagine that room vanishing overnight, its secrets scattered to the winds, changing the course of history in ways we still feel today. The truth is, some of the world's most important libraries were never meant to be found, and yet, their hidden shelves shaped our entire civilization. Which secrets survived? Which vanished forever? And who, exactly, decided what knowledge was worth saving, or destroying? Let's start with a question. If you had to hide the most dangerous ideas in the world, where would you put them? For centuries, the answer wasn't always a vault or a fortress. Sometimes, the most forbidden knowledge was disguised in plain sight, tucked away in monasteries, private homes, or even beneath the sands of the desert. When we think of great libraries, most of us picture the Library of Alexandria, columns, scrolls, a beacon of learning. But Alexandria isn't where the real story of hidden libraries begins, or ends. In fact, the world's most influential libraries were often the ones nobody was supposed to find. Let's rewind to 8th century Baghdad. The city is exploding with ideas, science, and poetry. But beneath the surface, rival factions hunt each other's books. The House of Wisdom, Beit al-Hikmah, is more than just a library. It's a secret engine of translation, invention, and sometimes espionage. Here, scholars not only translate lost Greek and Persian texts. They hide the most controversial ones, rewriting or encrypting passages to keep them safe from censors. Imagine a world where algebra, astronomy, and philosophy are political weapons. Because in medieval Baghdad they were. But the House of Wisdom wasn't alone. Across the world, in the dry caves of the Qumran Desert, another stash of hidden writings slept for nearly 2,000 years. The Dead Sea Scrolls, over 900 ancient texts, were hidden by a Jewish sect on the edge of the Roman Empire. Why? To protect ideas the empire wanted erased. These scrolls would only be rediscovered in the 20th century, rewriting our understanding of early Judaism and Christianity. How much else did we miss because other libraries remained hidden, or destroyed? Jump to China's Silk Road to the Mogao Caves at Dunhuang. Here, in a tiny sealed chamber, a Buddhist monk named Wang Yuanlu stumbled on a mountain of scrolls in 1900. They'd been hidden for centuries, tens of thousands of documents, sutras, poems, and government records. Why were they locked away? Some theories say it was to safeguard them from invading armies. Others believe the knowledge inside was considered too sacred, too dangerous, or too radical for the outside world. What's certain is that these hidden texts revealed a China more cosmopolitan, diverse, and interconnected than anyone imagined. But what about Europe? During the so-called Dark Ages, monks across Ireland, Italy, and the Middle East risked everything to preserve the written word. In tiny scriptoria, they copied banned works by hand, sometimes in code, sometimes with clever annotations to outwit suspicious eyes. The Abbey of Monte Cassino, for instance, became a fortress of lost Roman knowledge. Here, monks smuggled in texts on medicine, philosophy, even heretical science. Without these silent guardians, the Renaissance might have never happened. Let's pause and consider. When we talk about lost knowledge, what do we really mean? Is it burned, buried, or simply hidden so well that nobody remembers where to look? For centuries, secret societies and underground networks preserved forbidden books, passing them from hand to hand, sometimes at the risk of torture or death. In Spain, during the Inquisition, families hid Arabic texts in the walls of their homes. In Eastern Europe, Jewish communities created genizas, hidden storage for sacred writings no longer fit for use, many of which survived centuries of persecution. And then, there's Timbuktu. If you thought the Sahara was just endless sand, think again. In the heart of Mali, Timbuktu became the unlikely home of Africa's greatest treasure, thousands of manuscripts on astronomy, law, poetry, and science, hidden in wooden chests and underground vaults. For centuries, families kept these books secret, passing them down through generations. When jihadists threatened to destroy them in the 21st century, locals risked their lives to smuggle the manuscripts to safety. Imagine risking everything, not for gold, but for words. But why were these libraries hidden in the first place? Sometimes, it was about power. If you control information, you control the narrative. The Catholic Church famously kept the index of forbidden books, listing every text deemed too dangerous for the faithful. In response, underground libraries sprang up across Europe, hiding banned works by Galileo, Copernicus, and even Shakespeare. The more authorities tried to erase knowledge, the more people risked to preserve it. Other times, the reason was survival. The Mongol invasions of the 13th century swept across Asia, torching libraries from Baghdad to Beijing. When Hulagu Khan's army destroyed the House of Wisdom, countless texts were lost. Some say the Tigris ran black with ink. But not all was destroyed. Some scholars, anticipating disaster, smuggled documents out, hiding them in remote monasteries, villages, or caves. Every surviving scrap became a seed for future generations. And sometimes, hidden libraries were acts of quiet rebellion. In Nazi-occupied Europe, underground paper brigades risked arrest to save Jewish books from the flames. In Vilnius, Lithuania, a group of poets and scholars smuggled rare manuscripts out of the ghetto, hiding them in basements and attics. After the war, these secret collections helped restore entire cultures nearly erased by genocide. The courage to hide a book, it turns out, is the courage to hope. But even in peacetime, not all knowledge was welcome. In ancient Egypt, the library of Pharaoh Ramses II was said to house the books of the afterlife, texts so secret that only priests were allowed to read them. When rival dynasties took over, these books vanished, hidden, stolen, or destroyed. Scholars still debate whether traces remain in private collections, or if the knowledge was lost forever. Hidden libraries didn't just protect written works. They preserved languages, ideas, and even identities. In Ethiopia, the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela concealed ancient Ge'ez manuscripts, preserving a literary tradition that survived invasions and civil war. In South America, the arrival of Spanish conquistadors triggered a wave of book burnings. But some indigenous codices survived, hidden away by priests or disguised as Christian texts. Every rediscovered page is a window into worlds nearly erased. The power of hidden libraries isn't just in what they contain, but in what they represent. Every secret shelf is a battleground between memory and oblivion, between those who want to remember and those who want to forget. Even today, lost libraries haunt the dreams of historians. Was there a secret archive beneath the Great Library of Alexandria, as legends claim? What about the emperor's private library in Constantinople, rumored to house ancient Greek plays lost to time? Did the Nazis really stash looted books in salt mines, waiting to be rediscovered? Let's zoom in on one of the strangest stories, the Library of Ivan the Terrible. In the 16th century, Russia's first Tsar was obsessed with collecting forbidden knowledge, alchemy, prophecy, even black magic. He ordered rare books smuggled from Constantinople, Rome, and Persia, building a library so secret that not even his closest advisors knew its location. After Ivan's death, the collection vanished. Treasure hunters have searched for centuries, but the lost library of the Tsars remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Did Ivan's books survive, or were they destroyed to keep their secrets safe? Sometimes, the truth is even stranger than the legends. In 1945, a German priest discovered the Nag Hammadi Library, 13 ancient codices buried in a clay jar in Egypt. Inside, Gospels, letters, poems, and philosophical treatises banned by the early Christian Church. These texts turned the history of Christianity upside down, revealing lost voices and forgotten traditions. All because a handful of monks hid them in the desert, gambling that the future would understand what the present could not. It's tempting to think of lost libraries as tragedies, ashes, ruins, empty shelves. But every rediscovery is an act of resurrection. When archaeologists uncovered the Royal Library of Ashurbanipal in Nineveh, 25,000 clay tablets covered in cuneiform, they found stories, medical texts, and scientific observations stretching back millennia. It was like turning on a light in a room that had been dark for 2,000 years. But what about the hidden libraries that haven't been found? Are there still secret rooms, buried vaults, or forgotten caves waiting to be uncovered? The answer is almost certainly yes. In 2013, a trove of medieval manuscripts surfaced in a remote monastery in Montenegro, texts nobody even knew existed. In the sands of Egypt and the mountains of Tibet, scholars still search for lost libraries rumored by local legends. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Every rediscovered book is a key to understanding who we are, where we come from, and what we might become. Hidden libraries reveal not just what people thought, but what they feared, what they hoped, and what they dared not say out loud. But here's the twist. Sometimes, the act of hiding knowledge makes it stronger. When people risk everything to save a book, that book becomes more than ink and paper. It becomes a symbol of resistance, survival, and the stubborn refusal to let ideas die. Every lost library is a challenge to the next generation. Will you remember, or will you forget? Let's not forget, either, that today's digital age comes with its own dangers. Information can disappear with the click of a button. Censorship, cyber attacks, and the decay of data threaten our modern libraries in ways the ancients could never have imagined. In some ways, we're still fighting the same old battles, just with new tools. So, what's the lesson of history's hidden libraries? Maybe it's this. Knowledge is never truly safe. It can be hidden, stolen, or lost, but it can also be found, revived, and shared. The story of hidden libraries isn't just about dusty scrolls and forgotten vaults. It's about the endless struggle between those who want to erase the past, and those who will risk everything to keep it alive. So, next time you hear about a lost library, think about what might still be out there, waiting to be found. What secrets are buried just beneath the surface of history? What ideas survived because someone, somewhere, decided they were worth hiding? And what part will you play in the story of preserving knowledge for the future? If you found this journey through the world's hidden libraries as fascinating as I did, make sure you subscribe to History Owl for more untold stories from the past. There's always another secret waiting to be discovered, and together, we can keep the flame of history burning. Who knows what we'll uncover next?